For more free videos, go to zeroxbilliards.com. All the videos are organized so learning the game of pool has never been easier. From fundamentals to kicking, banking, breaking, and cue ball control, we have all the videos you need to supercharge your game. In this drill, we could play shape for the 2-ball here, but for this drill, we're going to create an angle around here that will allow us to send the cue ball 2 rails for shape on the 3-ball. Since we're not using side spin, we have to be aware of our angle on the 2-ball. The goal of this drill is to make sure the cue ball lands on the right side of the second diamond line. Ending up with a little too much angle means we'll be striking higher on the bottom side rail, somewhere near the side pocket. If we end up a little flatter on the 2-ball, then we have to use a lot more speed to send the cue ball to our position area. Since we're striking the 2-ball harder, controlling the exact path and speed of the cue ball is much more difficult. So when playing shape for the 2-ball, we really need to lock in on creating the proper angle. When we shoot the 1-ball, we're going to place the cue ball at a slight angle and use a stun shot to send the cue ball to the middle of the table. As mentioned earlier, playing for natural angles during leagues or tournaments will help simplify the game. And then if you miss your position area, say you end up here on the 2-ball, you can then use side spin to get back in line. In this drill, an angle like this on the 2-ball will allow us to send the cue ball off the side rail and toward the middle of the table for shape on the 3-ball. Now we need to determine the best way to get this angle on the 2-ball. We could play the shot this way, but this will leave us too much angle on the 2-ball. For this drill, we're going to be playing the 1-ball in the side pocket and sending the cue ball toward the 2-ball at the correct angle. You should always take advantage of any opportunity where you can send the cue ball toward your next ball at the correct angle. By doing this, your position window opens up, so your speed control doesn't have to be exact. Now in this shot, many players will instinctively use a stun shot with right spin. Since we're only using center ball, we'll be replacing the right spin with low spin, which will bring the cue ball back to the middle of the table. As you work your way through all these drills, you'll start to come across more and more shots where you can replace side spin with low spin and increase your chances of pocketing balls. In this drill, we need to create a natural rolling angle on the 2-ball, somewhere around here, that will take the cue ball to the top side rail for shape on the 3-ball. And it's important that you become comfortable at this type of angle, since this angle allows you to move the cue ball to different places around the table. A flatter angle like this means you'll be striking more of the 2-ball, which means moving the cue ball to the top side rail will take a much more powerful stroke, which increases your chances of not only missing the shot, but also making it harder to gauge your cue ball's speed. Just like the previous drill, we're going to pocket the 1-ball and send the cue ball toward the 2-ball at the correct angle. Take your time when creating your angle on the 1-ball. Use the ferrule of your cue to really fine-tune the cue ball's location, so you can really lock in on just the right angle that you're going to need. And you'll be shooting this shot with high action. At this angle, we have a nice rolling shot where the angle is doing all the work for us as far as moving the cue ball to our position area. Since the angle is helping to move the cue ball, we can focus more on making the object ball, which increases our chances of pocketing the ball. In this pattern, we're going to create an angle in the 2-ball so that we can send the cue ball 3 rails for shape on the 3-ball. So when we pocket the 1-ball, we're going to need to end up in this area here. There are 3 good options for ending up in this position area. The first option is to place a cue ball here and just stun the cue ball into this area. This is a good option since the cue ball will be traveling on the correct angle to the 2-ball, so our speed control doesn't have to be perfect. The other option is to draw straight back into this area. While these options are very good, the option we're going to be using is to pocket the 1-ball in the side pocket and use center high to send the cue ball into our position area. This type of shot gives you very good control over the speed and path of the cue ball. When we shoot the 2-ball, since we're not using side spin, it may be hard to get to the top side rail if we strike the in rail above the first diamond. Since we'll be using a stunt shot with no side spin, we need to strike the in rail between the first diamond and half diamond with a firm stroke. When using side spin on shots like this, the side spin helps to propel the cue ball off the first and second cushion. And without side spin, we're going to need to use more speed to make up for the lack of side spin. The flatter you are on the 2-ball, the more speed you're going to need. In this pattern, the key shot is pocketing the 1-ball and creating an angle on the 2-ball. If you're using side spin, you can place the cue ball here and use right spin to send the cue ball to the bottom side rail. Anytime you're pocketing a ball that's near the pocket like this one, you really need to be aware of how much of the object ball that you'll be striking. Strong players take as much time on shots like this as they would on a long, difficult shot. When using side spin, you have to be aware of not only how much right spin you'll be using, but also how much of the object ball you need to strike. Since we're not using side spin, we'll be placing the cue ball at an angle and using the amount of the 1-ball that we're striking to move the cue ball to the bottom side rail. For instance, if we strike this part of the 1-ball, we can send the cue ball to the second diamond. Hitting just a fraction of the 1-ball will send the cue ball toward the side pocket area. And striking too much of the 1-ball will send the cue ball to the end rail. When setting up this shot, place the cue ball fairly close and try to lock in how much of the 1-ball you'll be striking. At the proper angle, it won't take much of a stroke to send the cue ball to the bottom side rail, but this shot requires practice to develop a feel for how much of the 1-ball that you need to hit. At this angle, many players automatically use high left to send the cue ball to the top side rail. But on this shot, you can use maximum high and the cue ball will naturally be sent to the top side rail. The goal when shooting the 2-ball is to have the cue ball at least get to the third diamond line. If you end up short, start the run over. Having to cross the third diamond line will force you to create a natural angle on the 2-ball. For instance, ending up flat like this on the 2-ball will require a firm stroke to move the cue ball across the line. On this shot, you would have to use a touch of high with a very firm stroke. An angle like this requires a soft stroke, since the angle is doing all the work as far as moving the cue ball across the third diamond line. In this pattern, the key is creating the proper angle on the 2-ball that will send the cue ball toward the 3-ball off the top side rail. If we pocket the 1-ball and roll forward, we will be left with a flat angle on the 2-ball that will require much more stroke to send the cue ball to the target area. Or if we pocket the 1-ball and draw back an inch, we'll have too much angle on the 2-ball, which means we can no longer send the cue ball off the side rail. At this angle, we would have to bypass the rail, which means we won't have our position until the very end of the cue ball path. If we play a stop shot on the 1-ball, we now have the angle we need to send the cue ball off the side rail and toward the 3-ball. At this angle, it won't take much of a stroke to send the cue ball toward the target area. When performing this drill, the goal is to cross the half table line when playing shape on the 3-ball. In this pattern, there are a couple different ways to play position for the 2-ball. We could pocket the 1-ball and end up at this angle for the 2-ball, which will allow us to stun the cue ball off the top side rail for shape on the 3-ball. Or, as we'll be doing in this drill, creating an angle for the 2-ball in the side pocket to get our shape for the 3-ball. Now we could pocket the 1-ball and float into our position area across the 2-ball pocket line. But playing shape this way means we won't have our position until the very end of the cue ball path, so our speed control has to be very precise. When playing position for the side pocket as in this example, our position window is very large. Landing anywhere in this area will allow us to get our shape for the 3 ball. So the key to the 1 ball shot is sending the cue ball off the end rail and into this position area. The 3 options for playing shape are going 2 rails into our position area, or using a stun shot, sending the cue ball off the end rail, or the one we'll be using, pocketing the one in the corner and using high action to send the cue ball off the end rail. Before shooting the 1 ball, give yourself a target on the end rail to send the cue ball toward. By doing this, even if we underhit the shot and land near the end rail, we still have an angle on the 2 ball that we can use to get on the 3 ball. At this angle, we can stun the cue ball toward the end rail or toward the side rail. In this drill, as in other drills, whenever you send the cue ball to a rail, make sure you give yourself a target. If you miss your target by a diamond, then shoot the shot over again or start the run over. For instance, on this shot, I'm going to try to send the cue ball between the first and second diamond. If the cue ball ends up hitting around here, then I'll set the shot up and shoot it over again. In this drill, try to land the cue ball within a diamond of the end rail. In this drill, the goal is to pocket the 1 and 2 ball and end up in this area for the 3 ball. In order to end up in this area for the 3 ball, we need to create the ideal angle on the 2 ball, since we're not using side spin. So when we shoot the 1 ball, there are 3 different methods for getting shape on the 2 ball. The first one is to place the cue ball here and send the cue ball off the end rail and into our position window. This usually isn't the first option for strong players for 2 reasons. It's a blind shot since you can't see your destination, and you won't have your position until the very end of the cue ball path. For instance, in this game, Efren can roll in the 8 ball going 1 rail for shape on the 9 ball. Instead of a blind shot like this, Efren opted to use running English going 3 rails for the 9 ball. Even though this is short side position, he still preferred this over the 1 rail option, since he had better control over the cue ball path. The other option for getting on the 2 ball is to place the cue ball here and go 2 rails. This is a good option as long as you are comfortable hitting your target on the second side rail. The benefit of this shot is that the cue ball, when struck correctly, will be traveling toward the 2 ball at the correct angle. The third option, and the option we're going to be using, is to place the cue ball here and send the cue ball 1 rail off the side rail. This type of shot requires practice before you can become comfortable at knowing what angle is going to work as far as hitting your target on the side rail. To watch more free videos like this one, we set up a page that is filled with free videos covering every aspect of pool. All the free videos are organized by topic, so learning this great game of pool has never been easier. I put a link in the description that takes you directly to this webpage.